Good morning, beautiful people. Welcome to Njeri Speaks. And today I'm just so excited for you to join me because it's the last day of March, so March 31st. And what that indicates is this is the time to set up April. It's a time to recap March, what went well, what didn't go so well, and to challenge yourself, to raise the bar, right? Not beating yourself up about what didn't go right, but okay, so we did this well. What can we do in April? What can we plan for in April? What can we go for in April to really raise the bar? Because at the end of the day, all it is every month you're raising your standard. And the next month you raise your standard. And the next month you raise your standard. And the next thing you know, you've raised your entire world, right? Your world. It's standard. You've raised it up. And what I love about raising up your standards is that there are people watching you. If you're a parent, your kids are watching you. If you're a sibling, your younger siblings are watching you. If you're a younger sibling, your older siblings are watching you. And so this is an opportunity to really even go beyond what you want to feel and where you want to go, like a you focus, and more of, if I do this right, who can be impacted in the world? Who can be touched in the world? Who can be encouraged, right? Because at the end of the day, that's what your life should be. It should be a blessing to someone and not a drag or a burden, right? And all that is in the financial realm of things is just getting your money right. Depending on where you are in the spectrum of your money, whether you're just starting out, fresh out of college, first job, or you are looking at retirement in the next 5 years, or you are in retirement, whatever that looks like, you have to have a plan for your money. You literally have to have a plan for your money. And so the word budget has really gotten, it's gotten a bad rap. And I will tell you, when I started budgeting, my whole life turned around. And, you know, I was listening to Dave Ramsey talk about the budget will change your life. The budget will change your life. The budget will change your life. And I didn't realize it. Because remember, I told you that in past video that I had learned about Dave Ramsey years before I implemented his program in my life in August of 2015. And so for all that time, I was kind of, sort of budgeting, maybe, possibly. And then when I finally said, enough is enough, this guy went from zero to where he is, and he's giving me a map on what I need to do to get to where he is. Now, yes, there are things that I'm like, do we really? But at the end of the day, I said to myself, let me give his complete program. Because there are people who do Dave-ish programs, kind of, sort of Dave Ramsey. But when you do it through and through the way he teaches it, things happen. Yes, there are things that you will cut from your budget. You have to, unless you want to go get 2, 3, 4 jobs. Or you can have a side hustle. That's an option. And at the end of the day, you need to know what your money is doing. You need to be able to have an idea of, if an opportunity came in front of you, whether you can or can't do it and why or why not, versus I feel like this would be a great opportunity, and so I'm just going to spend on it and not really think things through. Then next thing you know, you have to wait on the electric, you have to wait on the heating bill, until the next month to try to clear up that decision that you just made totally willy-nilly, without any mapping, without any readjusting of your budget, if you even have a budget. So back to point one. It's March 31st. Do you have a budget? Do you have a budget set up? So if you do not, pen to paper, starting point. And you write down all your bills. Starting point. Now you write up your income. How much do you make? What avenues are you getting money from? And then if you're evangelical Christian, which I am, you have to have the first category as your giving. And we believe that 10% off the top is how you measure the giving. Now, I'm not going to get all technical about, is it off of the top? Is it off of the gross, off of the gross or off of the net? That's between you and God, to be honest with you. But what I will say is, when I do my budget, I do it off the gross. And I have never run short, excuse the term, but I've never run short. And when I started giving consistently, budgeting the giving, budgeting my expenses, and having an idea of where my money was going, this whole journey to becoming debt-free sped up like fire. I wish I could say there was an easy way and, that skips over the budget, but no, that's where I really made the traction. The second thing I did was cut out unnecessary things. Again, people think budget, restriction, and all I'm saying is it's a temporary thing. I'm not here forever. I'm not, couponing forever, although I really like the savings, but it's not a forever thing if I don't want it to be. But for now, until I get out of debt, there is no vacation. I get staycations instead. Woo! There is no Whole Foods. I get Trader Joe's and all the other places that are now increasing in organic foods for half the price. My hair, that's an adventure in and of itself, because every other week I used to spend between $70 and $100 on my hair. And so on my first video, you saw me, I had it nice and natural, and that's my world for now. And today I was like, okay, let me do something different. Let me see what we can do with this here mane, because it's all natural, no chemicals, because chemicals cost. And it's a sacrifice that I'm happy to make. I'm happy to make because I know when I'm done and I am debt-free, I can add a line item and I can go to any stylist and do anything I want to this here hair. But for now, I will live. I will be okay. Another sacrifice that I made was my car. What you don't know, because I didn't mention it in the first video, is that I had a brand new car when I kicked off the debt snowball and the journey to becoming debt free. When I really got serious. Yes. Now I drive a 2000 Honda Accord, which I love. She's a trooper, and she takes me from point A to point B. And so there's no complaining there. She's so good, and she's really warm. So that's a good place. Living in Illinois, now Wisconsin, warmth is good. And that was painful because when I say I customized this car, I customized the leather. It didn't come with leather. I ordered the leather. I picked the leather. It smelled beautiful. I customized so many things on that car. It was my car. And the thought process, how I even dared to justify the car payment was, I'm going to drive this until the wheels fall off. Except one thing. That was so much money out of my budget that I didn't get the right to make that decision. I didn't deserve that decision. I just didn't. Not any bad way to anybody who chooses a brand new car, but for me, when I did the math, it just didn't make sense. But I had car fever. I had just come out of a very bad car situation prior to that, having to take somebody through court for lemon law and all of those things. But skip past that. It was a sacrifice I had to make. So they sold it for me, and that's my world now. So now I have a 2000 Honda Accord that I can't wait to upgrade by paying cash someday in the near future. And why am I sharing all of these things with you? I'm sharing all of these things because it's a decision that you have to make. You get to look at your money, you get to look at your expenditures, and you get to see, is this a want? Is this a need? Starbucks might be a want, because you could just go to the store and spend $10 and get like one of those big canisters and make coffee at home. And not to bash Starbucks. I have enjoyed Starbucks in the past. Right now it's just not my cup of tea, if you will, just because it's not in my budget. I have better places to put my money right now in trying to clear the debts. And so you have to make that decision. So today's show, if you will, today's episode is really to challenge you to look at your expenditures and let April be the month that you challenge yourself to see what you can cut. I just dare you. And again, you are the only one who sees your money. But I assure you, when you do a budget, you'll feel like you got a raise. When I first did my budget, I remember we spent $900 in groceries. $900 in groceries. $900 in groceries. And the only reason why we spent that much is I didn't know what I was spending. I wanted, I just got. And this was primarily whole foods because we're an organic family. We're gluten-free primarily. And so, yeah. So I just want to challenge you this coming month to draw up your first budget if you're just getting started, to review your budget if you're familiar with the budget, and just see where you can cut just a smidge and be able to put that, if you're not debt-free, towards your debts. If you don't have an emergency fund first, towards your emergency fund. You'll be amazed how quickly and how easily you will find money, and it will grow for whatever projects you designate for it. So I just want to encourage you on this rainy Saturday here, but maybe sunshiny Saturday to you, to really take a moment, take a pause. You know, we're Easter weekend, so there's a lot going on for a lot of people. But your money and getting it right is a priority. And so I just challenge you. Get out there, pen to paper. There are also awesome apps. Let's say you're like, oh, I don't want to do paper. You have Every Dollar at everydollar.com, where you can set it up. You have to be at a desktop or a laptop to set it up, and then you can download the mobile app. You go on to create your account, and then you can do everything on your mobile. YNAB is another app that works really well. Again, similar to Every Dollar, you have to go sign up. YNAB is a little bit less intuitive, a little bit clunkier, I'll call it, than the Every Dollar, number one. And number two, the YNAB process is you're budgeting what you have, the money that you have right now. Whereas with the Every Dollar app from Dave Ramsey, it's your whole month and you're projecting what you will do. You're projecting what you will spend. So depending on where you are, if you get paid weekly, YNAB might work a little bit better for you. If you, like me, know exactly what you're going to be paid every month, then the whole month is probably a better idea. I do both because, again, I really love the Dave Ramsey process of knowing exactly what I'm doing with my money before the money begins. And what I do is I do the YNAB for every time that I get paid. I just go in there and I plop in for this 2-week period. This is what my expenditure is. Still keeping in mind that holistically, the entire month, I have right here, I have a picture of it. I know exactly what everything is. And so I just divide the amounts by 2. I don't want to complicate this. And again, this is part of the hands-on, one-on-one coaching that I provide when we work together. I'm able to literally have us sit down. If you're away from Illinois or Wisconsin, we can get on a Skype call or on the phone or whatever works for us. And we can just dig in, get you started, and you get right along, and then you give me feedback. This worked, this didn't work. Oh, I overestimated, I underestimated. And the whole thing is, it takes time. And so perfection is not welcome in this process, because I assure you, you will quit day one. However, if you give yourself the gift of keeping going and not giving up and determination to finish, I assure you, you will get out in the end very, 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 very happy and really, really content and at peace knowing what's going on with your money. So, all that to say, subscribe below. I will be going a little bit further in details in future videos on budgeting tricks and techniques, line items, things of that nature. And also, I want to share a couple of books next time that you can start reading. If you're more of an audiobook, I can double check that it's on Audible or whatever other app is available, and then we can go from there. But it was so nice tuning in with you today and kind of meeting up with you for this second episode of Njeri Speaks, and us talking about closing out the month of March, seeing what went well, what didn't go so well, and planning April, and seeing how much we can cut for those of you that are already budgeting, and starting from scratch for those of you that are brand new. So y'all have a beautiful Easter holiday weekends. Relax, enjoy, after you do your budget, of course, and chat with you later.